All right, quick status report. Beautiful beginning to the day. Sun is shining, birds are chirping, and cognitive noise is high. My mind has been the mind has been racing, and also wanting to just cling to worst case scenarios. And so, using this as an opportunity to recognize that there is a difference between the part of me that, whoa, is aware of the mind and the way that it wants to cling to the challenging thoughts and the problems and the things that are going wrong, and the awareness behind it, that part of me that can just observe that aspect. And so even though the mental noise and the movement is fast, and there's an opportunity for me to just drop that awareness into my low belly and not give those thoughts any more attention than what they, recognizing that if I don't feed them or entertain them, then they actually just quiet and slowly dissipate. Another thing that I've started to notice is that when my mind is moving quickly, it wants my body to also grip. When there's tension in my mind, it brings tension into my body. And so, one of the practices that I've been exploring with is that if I can stay relaxed, if I can relax my body, it also has this side effect of my mind relaxing as well. And so, one of my practices is simply to develop a greater understanding of the way that the mind and the body are interacting. And so, if I can relax the body, relax my shoulders, relax my jaw, relax my face, and allow the emphasis to be on relaxing the mind as well, then it gives those thoughts an opportunity to slow down, to create a little more spaciousness and return back to the awareness that the two aspects of me, the aspect that is the observer or the witness, can have influence over the human Jake that wants to be all uptight and tense and worried and nervous and stressed. But when I influence the stress part of me with the awareness part of me, because that part is always relaxed, that part is always not concerned or overwhelmed or depressed or anxious. It never is. It's just aware, it's just observant. And when I operate more from that place of observant and curious, then the anxiousness or the stressed aspect also just is reminded that it's getting all caught up in ultimately the things that don't hold as much weight as what I give them. And that, I believe, is going to be the practice of today, is just going to, I had mentioned yesterday, was to remove cognitive noise, or to minimize the amount of noise in my environment internally and externally. But today it's just, on top of that, it's going to be staying relaxed in body and in mind. Status report, current time 22:43. Energy peaceful, relaxed, full day. Mind still, spacious. Body depleted, but in a fulfilling way. Reflecting on today, subject's primary objective was to minimize noise and screen time and stay relaxed. This was a really good test as screen time definitely minimized it. I've got a screen tracker going on my phone where I've got a little widget that tells me how much screen time I've spent every single day. And today was somewhere in that 2 hour mark, which by and large is actually really great considering some of that is listening to podcasts and or content that is a part of this apprenticeship program that I'm in. A few aspects just to note was I had spent time out at my aunt and uncle's new property. Beautiful, beautiful piece of land. And I left feeling completely wiped. Not too sure, just making note of it to see if any patterns surface later on. One of my core objectives was to stay relaxed and aware today, and I've got another job over at a private golf course, and we got hit with a really big rush, and I was serving a bunch of tables all at once, a big flood, and I noticed myself just getting very tense and very just kind of like moving quickly to try to stay on top of everything. And it was in that moment that an alarm went off on my phone. And I have this alarm go off a few times a day. It simply reminds me to slow down and that I have a soul, or that I'm just having a human experience here. And it was brilliant because I was like rushing into the back of the kitchen and then ding ding, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, human. Don't worry about it. Like all the why am I stressing over these little things that I talked about earlier? Beautiful reminder. That was a great opportunity to just reflect on the pattern interrupt that is a simple phone alarm to keep me present and slow and relaxed actually works. Make note of that. Check. Recognizing that the late meal consumption yesterday impacted overall fatigue throughout the entire course of the day, as though the quality of the rest that I did not receive actually carried into the entirety of the day. Good thing to note. Today we're trying to experiment with something different, eating a little bit later, or earlier, in the day. Had my final meal at 3, small snack at 9. See how that impacts sleep moving forward. Tomorrow's primary objective, kindness. Got a full day tomorrow. Construction, 8 till 11. Then working at the Ninja Gym from 12 till 9:30. It's a lot of opportunity for resource energy to be depleted, and that's when it becomes most difficult to continually think of the way that I am being received by others, or just losing the eye for kindness. So the primary objective tomorrow is to keep the eye on kindness and relaxation, and challenge myself to continue to tap back into that relaxed state, kind state, even when my perspective begins to focus on how tired or sore or wiped I am. That said, keeping it simple this evening. Ending transmission there.